Danny, welcome. I'm so excited to be sitting with you today to talk about your beautiful new book and soul kind of conversations. We've dealt with the mind, we've dealt with the body on the show, but not enough of the heart centered, like the deeper work. So, very honored to have you on today.
Well, thank you for having me, Michelle. I'm glad to be here.
So, let's start just sort of basic in terms of what is your intention with the book and what do you hope people will take away from it? What's the invitation?
Yeah, the invitation is to go into the deepest parts of ourselves, to unlock the moments when our light was dimmed. And I say that statement, and I don't think most human beings realize that there was a moment in life where, that spark, that vibrancy, definitely their heart was fully open and there was a moment where all of that changed and when that changed, most of us don't realize that we start attracting in life our partners, our relationships, our finances, even our health, based off of that initial story and energy that we've been carrying. And then the good news is the same way that you attract from, negative or dimmed light, you can attract from positive energy and your fully expanded self. So that's the purpose of the book, is to help people get back to there and awaken their highest self.
I love that. When you said that about the dimming the light, I got emotional because
Mm,
it's so in resonance with the work that I'm doing too. My personal biggest fear is that I won't do the work that God source my calling is like meant to do on this lifetime, that I will let fear hold me back from shining as
mhm.
bright as I was meant and to do that. And the invitation with the podcast is to have women not, I don't want anyone living with regret that they lived for everyone else
Sure.
and they let that light stay dim, even though there were these whispers or these little flickers, but they pushed them to the side. So I'm so excited to dive into your knowledge and all the work you've done around this. And you've walked this path. So, right.
Yeah.
So that's what I love for people to understand a little bit more about how, you went from being an entrepreneur to a spiritual teacher,
Yeah.
because you were so successful
Hmm.
by anyone's definition, but your light wasn't lit
Mm-mm.
in that path.
No, and on the contrary, most of us don't realize that we look at people that we deem successful based off of the fact that they have money. And we unknowingly look up to them and don't realize that I would say 9 out of 10 people that are successful in today's world are actually only successful because of a deep void and wound that they have within themselves. And that's because our deepest fear as human beings is the fear of failure. You actually just kind of said it in a way,
Yeah.
based off of your fear. And and the thing is that the thing that human beings have created in this 3D world and universe is money. And so, along the ways, when we are at our core disconnected from ourselves and deeply afraid of failure, we go out and create this notion that if we have money, when we become successful, well, then we can't fail because we've got enough to sustain us and protect us. And that's what happened to me. I built a business like everybody does based off of what the world tells you that you need. Matter of fact, I built a life based off of what the world tells you that you need. And I reached like the pinnacle and the mountaintop, and I realized I was miserable. And I only realized that when my mother passed away, which is the starting point for most spiritual awakenings. Either there's a
Yes.
death, there's a loss of income, there's a loss of health, um, and there's a loss of a relationship. Typically these things bring us to our knees. And I just want to share with the listener that they're not by accident. Your soul actually called it in to help you to awaken.
Let's talk about the energy and what you're talking about, because I thought it was interesting. You talked about um, 3D living versus 4D versus 5D. Can you explain what it means and how do we? get into that energetic vibration? Like, because you have to have the awareness that you're sort of not quite
Mhm.
there. So, can you explain just foundationally, like what that even means and then how somebody would sort of turn on that?
Yeah, that's beautiful. The way that I would say it is that there's two worlds that we can live from, the world of fear or the world of love.
Yeah.
And beneath fear, there is separation. And beneath love, there is oneness. And beneath separation, there is victim energy. And beneath oneness, there is creator energy. Now, let's pause there for a second. I go deep into the book with all of this. 90%, if not more, of all human beings are unconsciously living in fear consciousness. And fear consciousness is dictated by the energy of separation, which looks like you and I are separate based off of race, religious beliefs, political backgrounds, um, and financial ability, right? And if you
Yes.
look at most of the issues that happen for or political beliefs, and if you look at most of the issues that happen in politics, politics is the physical manifestation in the 3D world of our fear consciousness, and it pins us against each other.
Yes.
Religion does the same thing too. Religion appeases your deepest fear within yourself, and it makes you right and them wrong. But it also just keeps you in your mind. It keeps you believing that God is out there, and it keeps you fully disconnected from your essence, divinity, and from Mother Earth. This is why when people awaken spiritually, they start to connect with like the planet, and they start to ground and hug trees. And all of the like 3D folks call them hippies. Of course, they're hippies. And they call them New Age. Of course, they're New Age because the mind has to defend its identity.
Yes.
So when the mind has to defend its identity, it has to make everything wrong. And the crazy thing that you'll discover is everything that's called New Age, everything that I deemed New Age, for example, everything that I deemed wrong or the devil, because I was highly religious, and we can get into that if you'd like, whether it's astrology, whether it's Mother Nature, whether it's meditation, whether it's breath work, or like the most evil of them all, plant medicine. What I actually discovered is that all of these things are actually the thing that leads you to what you just asked me for: 5D consciousness, oneness with everything. When Michelle is not Michelle and Danny is not Danny, Michelle is a reflection of Danny, and Danny is a reflection of Michelle. Michelle is not a woman and I am not a man. I am the mind and she is the heart. I am the yin and she is the yang. And together we are a representation of life. And that's what's available to all of us. And something magical happens when you transcend separation and go into oneness. God is no longer out there, God is in here.
Yes.
And when God is in here, the beautiful thing that happens is that what you want in life is no longer out there, it's in here. So there's no more striving for it. There's no more effort. There's no more trying. And that is because there is no effort required in being. Being requires no effort. And so the invitation to us all, when we're ready, which normally we're not until someone dies, we lose our money, we lose our jobs, or we lose our health, is can you finally awaken and realize that heaven is not a place that you have to die to get to? That is a lie from the pit of hell. Heaven, if you open your eyes and look, is right here, right now. You're in heaven right now. Just look at the trees, just listen to the birds, just look at the ocean, just look at the sunrise and the sunset, and you will see the most beautiful creation that you could ever imagine. The problem is we can't see any of it because we're stuck in fear and we're actually deeply, unconsciously afraid of life. And that's why we can't get what it is that we want from it.
Danny, I have these like lists of questions here, and I just kind of want to rip up the paper and just like, let's go.
Just flow. Yeah.
Let's go
Yeah.
because it will align with what we're going to talk about. But as you're speaking so much, like I have so much curiosity and so many questions because I agree. It is those moments that break you apart that make
Mhm.
you question what you consider real and true and about yourself and the world.
That's right.
But sometimes those journeys, like my spiritual journey started in my mid 20s when a horrible breakup. Like I was gaslit. I lost a sense of grounding in who I was. And I found Louise Hay's work and then, other teachers. And I was like, oh, this is really interesting. And so much resonated.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't say I fully awakened. I know truth when I hear it. I think our soul remembers and it resonates. I think even sometimes when we hear something and it makes us tear up, that's like your soul remembering. I think the tears are like the soul remembering.
Mhm.
But when you're talking about awakening, and maybe you can talk about it through your path, is it a lifelong journey or is it like the light
Oh.
goes on? Do you know what I mean? Because what you're talking about is like your light is on,
Mm.
you're not going to go back into the fear space, but
Mm.
I'm not there. Do you know what I mean? And I've been on this a long time.
I'd like to explain that. It's really it's it's really interesting what you say, or when you said like, there's no going back. You'll know you're advancing in your spiritual journey when you wish with every fiber in your being that you could go back, because it's that scary. The contemplation here is when you are fully on the journey of awakening your soul and eventually someday reaching enlightenment, you have to go into and face every single one of your shadows, every single one of your fears. It's the only way to, Michele, one day realize that the fear that you have of dying and not fulfilling all of your goals and your mission in life is actually a sign that you're still just disconnected from the essence of who Michele actually is,
Yeah.
because there's nothing to aspire to, there's nothing to become, there's nothing to be relentless about. Everything Michele wants is already here. She's just got to remember that. And the only way to remember that is to face it, is to go into that fear. Yeah. And so, number one, it is a lifelong journey because transmutation is a lifelong journey. We as human beings possess the capacity to even face and conquer the fear of death. So much so that if you look, several yogis from India, forgive me, I don't know the name of it, have actually been able to just decide the moment that they go. And some Tibetan monks have even realized what's called the rainbow body, where light is so present within and they are so connected to the light that the body literally just dissolves into a beam of light. This is all possible for us. Um, and as I mentioned that, people might be like, whoa, that's a bit much, right? Think about that. That's fear.
Yes.
That
I
that's
think a lot of what you're saying is going to make people go, what is he saying? Don't
that
you think? Do you face that? I mean,
well, it just depends because there's baby steps to everything. Like,
yes.
look, that's the deep end.
Right.
My character and my makeup,
Yes.
answer your question, I've just always been like, I want the truth. I want everything available. I'm just
Yes.
gonna go for it, right? But let me give it to you just in bite sizes.
Yes.
That breakup that you experienced,
Yeah.
that breakup doesn't just happen. Okay. That breakup, that man was the perfect character. He played literally like in a movie, the character that you needed in your heart and soul to get you to awaken and to start the work that you're doing. Yeah.
Yes. And I had that awareness after I was on the other side of the healing of
Beautiful.
that. Yes.
Absolutely. I'll take it
Yes.
a step further.
Please.
But that character doesn't show up in your life unless there is first an energetic wound within that was created by the relationship with your father.
Father or mother or both? Is it usually the dad? For a woman, it's the father?
Let me explain.
Please.
Father equals others.
Okay. This is the
So
masculine and
if
feminine you talk about.
anyone outside, relationship, people, clients, any human being outside of yourself, father, there is a connection to what happened with you and your father. And then any sort of worthiness or thoughts about self or how valuable you see yourself, that is a connection with mother. Because the
Interesting.
mother is the first relationship that a human being has with itself, and the father is the secondary relationship. You see, we have been sold for generation upon generation based on our fear. We've been given everything to disconnect us from ourselves. And AI and all of these robots and all of these taxis, all that is the physical, it's the last battle. It's the final frontier. It's either going to be you're on team human or you're on team AI. Make no mistake about it. You're going to have to choose. And it's beautiful because it's going to be the thing that bridges the gap and connects us and no longer makes us see ourselves as black or white or man or woman or gay or straight or Republican or Democrat or rich or poor, because we're not going to have a choice. So on one side, it's a little, frightening, but on the other side, I think it's beautiful because it's going to be the thing that finally helps us to realize that we've been fighting ourselves all along, not each other, ourselves.
Okay. So much to unpack here. Okay.
Michelle,
Okay.
by the way, my apologies because it just starts ripping, but I
No,
wanted
that's
you.
okay. That's okay because okay. So I always have like the women listening and like I know what where I've been on the path and like my belief system and then like what other people might be taking away. So all right, so I have to say so, okay, so the 3D so as we're awakening, it is a lifelong journey
Mhm. It's a
and
lifelong journey of facing the fear.
over love. So, how does
Right.
somebody see those limiting beliefs or start unpacking it? Because often we're
Okay.
unconscious of it, aren't we? We don't even know.
Yeah. So it shows up in life. It shows up in so there's three major energies of human mastery, and I speak about them in the book.
Okay.
The first one is money.
Yes.
No particular order, by the way. First
Yep.
one is money. So let's
Yep.
talk about money.
Please.
Money is just a physical representation of your deepest beliefs and energetic blockages within. Every single one of us values and understands the importance of money. However, some of us have such a deep blockage around our worthiness that we create stories around it. Like,
Yes.
I don't need money to be happy. Bullshit. Then why do you work?
Yeah.
You work just like everybody else does, but you have created work that pays you just enough to get by because of the story that you have created that says, I don't need money to make me happy. What you're actually saying is, I'm afraid. I'm afraid to confront my deepest fears. I'm afraid to go out into the marketplace. I'm afraid to see if I can actually make it because somewhere along the lines, when you were a little boy or a little girl, this is a mother wound, by the way, you were shown that you are not powerful, that you are not worthy, that you are not valuable. And Michelle, it happens like this. It could literally be you crying and your mother not being there to like give you the bottle, or your mother hitting you, or your mother prioritizing men over you, or your mother prioritizing a sibling over you. You unconsciously pick up these stories, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, maybe I'm not worthy of love. Maybe I'm not enough. And then that energy stays inside of us
Yes.
and that energy manifests, and we try, but we try with resistance and fear, and therefore it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy until you go, fuck it, I'm done living my life like this, and I will go to the ends of the earth to figure this thing out and heal it. Yeah.
Yes.
And just that moment, and you saying that your life starts to change forever, guess what starts to happen? You start to realize all of the times in which you're scared. You start to realize all the thoughts that you have. You start to challenge those thoughts. You start to ask yourself, wait a minute, where did that come from?
Totally.
Where did I learn that? That's the awareness piece. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
And we talk about awareness, healing, and transforming in the book. So that's step
Yes.
number one is money. The second
Yes.
one is relationships.
Yes.
Yeah. Listen, right now, right now we're all a mess,
Yes.
and it's only going to get worse because the more disconnected we are from ourselves through these cell phones and through AI, the more that we outsource our power, which, by the way, we have been outsourcing our power since the moment we were born. It started with outsourcing it to our mother and father.
Survival.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And needing them to be happy and needing them to not hit me or spank me so that I can get fed and so that I could survive. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it went to your teachers. And you needing to be on the good side of the teacher, right? You're learning. The power's not in me, the power's in the teacher. And then it went to the preacher. And you having to go every Sunday and listen like a little good boy or a little good girl, even if it didn't make sense, even if your soul say, wait a minute, wait a minute, who was there to record Adam and Eve? Like how could they have known that that actually happened? Like, was paper and pencil even invented back then? Or wait a minute. Like, if Jesus came back when everything was cool, don't you think he'd come now when things are a mess? But you can't ask those questions. You can't. You can't go there because you're afraid to go there because the system that you're in, the preacher is telling you, if you don't believe, you're going to go to hell. Notice the fear, right? And then it goes to the government.
Yeah.
And so every layer of life, what you unconsciously have been doing is outsourcing your power. Awakening is really all about time out. I'm done with that. And the only way you get there, the only way I got there is being in a unfulfilled, unhappy marriage for 13 years of my life, being in a career where I made a lot of money, but I felt miserable and my body was inflamed, and being in a situation where I knew I wasn't happy. I didn't even know what happy was.
Yeah.
And that's what starts that process. And then number three, there's the money, there's the relationship. This word now watch. Love,
Yes.
oneness, ready?
Yes.
Oneness is what if I'm separate, it's easier for me to go, your fault, you're the bad guy. But if I'm in oneness, guess what I go? Okay, wait a minute. They were just a reflection of me. See, now I'm no longer in victim. I get to go into creator. That's when your life changes.
Yeah.
And fear, guys, doesn't want that. Fear wants you to stay stuck in blaming. Fear wants you to stay stuck in pointing because it, I'm just going to say it, it wants you to die like that.
But 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 why? But why? Because we know we are here to, bring the love that we are,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's really the essence of who we are and what we've always been. We return to
Yes,
the love that
right.
made us. And that's
That's right.
it. That's the story. So this fear piece, is it a part of our soul's path to reclaim it here for the healing of, like, I'm curious what your lens is because I do think about this.
Yeah, it's how fear and pain stay alive through us.
Yeah. And it's
That's why.
survival, though. So
That's
that's
right.
when you're from a survival, like, I must survive. So I'll do what I need. I'll keep myself small. I'll dim the light. I'll people please. I'll keep these limiting beliefs because they keep me, quote unquote, safe,
Safe.
sad and disconnected and unhappy, but safe.
Okay, now let's take it a step further. Here's the greatest trick of all that fear and pain and dark energy does without us realizing.
Yeah.
Remember what I said. Remember that everything outside is a reflection of what's happening inside, right?
Yeah.
So, what happens if you are in fear and you're playing safe and you're staying small? What will you attract? Things that keep you in fear, playing safe, and believing that you're small.
Yeah.
That's the trick.
can we put this in context? So there's, you mentioned, I think is the third, you said money and relationships is the third sex from the
No,
book.
the third is the body,
Oh, it was the body. So that
health.
was a different thing. What was the other three
Sex
on?
is relationships.
Ah, that was under the relationships. Okay.
Yeah,
Wait, right. Okay. Because from my
but we can
notes.
go into
Okay.
sex.
So what was the third one? Wait, so say it again. It was,
It's money, relationships, and health, your
and
body.
health. Okay. Well, those are the three critical. So can we just break this down? Because I think this is good. So if there's blocks with the money,
Mhm.
that is a huge one for everyone, women too. They want to feel empowered. And, like maybe when they were, and I'll use myself as an example in corporate America, I felt powerful. I felt like I should be making money. I felt I was a channel for money. I've always been. And then
Mhm.
I went out on my own. No, no more. What's that? Like, how do you like, right? So
Well,
that's
well,
it.
well.
So how can I be empowered around money and always have it flow? And then that shifts. I know I'm not the only one, which is why I'm using myself as an
Yeah,
example.
yeah. No, no. Beautiful. There was a belief. There was a belief. What was the belief inside of you, or what was the fear inside of you that? What was the story that you created about what being out on your own meant? Where did you learn that being out on your own and stepping out into your light, like literally allowing yourself to shine? Where did you learn that that could mean pain? Where did you learn that?
Oh, you're actually asking me. Okay. Where did I learn that? Uh, So the first thought that comes up, I don't want this to be all about me, but okay. So the first thought that came up is, um, life isn't safe. So when I was 8, I was in front of my house. I have two brothers. I don't know where they were that day. I was on my little yellow bike in the driveway, and two men pulled up in a station wagon.
Mm,
Guy in the front seat, guy in the back, and the guy in the back seat said, "Hey, little girl, come here."
mm,
And I dropped my bike, ran in my house, looked out the front window, watched them. We lived on a dead end street. They drove away. I didn't tell anybody, but like that locked me into fear.
yeah.
And then I went into 2 years later into a back brace after having the most fun I've ever had riding that same bike, free as a bird. I fell, cracked open my chin, got stitches, and that appointment led to an appointment that found out that I had moderate scoliosis. And then the next 6 years, I was couldn't breathe. I was constrained in a back brace from here to
Mm,
here, 23 hours of the day, could not breathe,
wow.
could not breathe. So I think like I had this thought like life isn't safe.
That's
You
right.
can have fun, but don't have too much fun. You know what
That's
I
right.
mean?
That's right.
So you had fun, but look what happened. So don't go too big because you're going to get hurt. I think that's it. I think that's hurt. And then you won't be able to breathe. You won't be able to like survive.
So the story you created
Yes.
was shining my light
Yes.
equals dying,
Yes. Yeah.
because breath is life.
Breath is life.
And so when that's and I'm going to show you how to heal this, right? But when that's an unconscious wound,
Yeah.
this is what I said at the beginning when
Especially
we
when you're a kid, you sort of just
yeah,
like internalize all that. You just like,
that's when it happens.
right. Yeah.
We go out and, like I say, we try, but unconsciously there's something inside of us that says, don't actually make it happen, because if you do, you remember what that meant.
Right.
And this is what leads me to the work that I do now. I wrote the book. I wrote the book because I have an event called Awaken Your Highest Self.
Yeah.
Which, where do you live?
San Diego.
Okay, I'm gonna be in LA. Nobody knows this yet. I'm gonna be in LA in September, something like that.
Okay. We'll put
Just,
it in
I'll get
yeah.
you're my guest. You
Okay.
have to come.
Okay.
But Michele, even if you could make it to New York in July, I would say come. The sooner the it's just gonna we will
I've
nip
seen the
that.
videos. People really have those breakthroughs there. I see it.
Yeah, we will nip that in the bud and we will unlock it and it'll dissolve. I promise you. I promise
So,
you.
so for the women listening, because that's my wound. So if they're listening and like, let's bring it to them. Like, what do they need to do? So the question would be, what is the,
Okay, look, you ready?
yes,
We live in a world, I think if there's any magic in the work that I do, is that I was once a man who needed you to need me.
Yes. You wrote a lot about, yes, you showed up so that people would like you no matter what.
That's
And
right.
even when you went through that divorce, you wanted to make sure that people still liked you. You didn't want
That's right.
anyone to be mad at you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was because that was my deepest fear, right?
Yeah. Then you die.
That's right. That's it, right? You get it, right?
Yes.
And so I went into that. And when I did, all of that energy literally shook out of my body. And as it did, I realized people don't need more of me or of others. They need more of themselves.
That's the whole mission behind this show.
That's
Come
it.
back to you.
That's
Come
it. Right.
back to you. Yeah. You don't need
Yeah.
anyone else telling you what to do anymore. You
No,
need to hear yourself.
that's right.
Yes.
That's
I
right.
love this. Yes.
So when I created Awaken,
Yes.
I created it because of 3 years of deep work with ayahuasca, psilocybin mushrooms, plant medicine. We can get
Yes.
into that if you'd like. Deep. I'm talking laying there, gagging, throwing up, purging, screaming, yelling, just releasing the energy from me. And I thought to myself, okay, every human being needs to do this, but they won't. They won't. So, what could I create that gives them this type of experience where they could go back into themselves?
Safely, though,
Safely.
because,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Safely.
I
Yeah.
only say that because when you do that deep work, it unlocks so much, doesn't it?
It does. And this is why I created Awaken utilizing breath work because
Yeah.
the breath is just
Oh,
you
interesting breath
and
work.
you with breathing. And that's why I think you're going to
What
love
kind
it.
of breath work? Somatic piece. I think about that. What is locked inside? You
That's
don't
right.
have to be physically constrained to have stuff locked.
That's right. That's right. And so in the book is only one part because reading a book is only going to give you knowledge. Like it's really cool to go, wow, like this guy's right. Like I did experience some things and oh my God, like, yeah, that does make sense. But you're still here. This is the number one problem we have in society today is that all of us are looking for more knowledge. All of us are looking for more answers. All of us are looking for more of what to do.
Yes.
But your life can never change here. It's got to change
I've been
here.
thinking about this. It's amazing you're saying that because it is that somatic piece. It's what's in the body and right and really connecting back to your heart.
Yeah, that's right. And that's why I gifted everyone who gets the book, Breathwork. You will own it for the rest of your life. We used to sell it for like $100, but I want the world to heal. I want human beings to heal. And it's a really slow tempo. It's not very challenging. You just lay there and follow along. And the combination of the book with the breathwork is it's gonna change your life in a really
Amazing.
beautiful, beautiful way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the somatic piece makes so much sense to me. And the fact that it is the breath, which is the essence that we need. For the money, they're going to go back. What was that incident? Like, what are the belief systems? Obviously, in the book, you
Yeah.
dive
What's
into
stop?
this. You
Right.
have those affirmations. Like, I love I'll share one thing that I love that you wrote about it was take the most you've ever made and triple it.
Yeah. Yeah. Take the most. This is an activity.
Yeah.
We have it in the book, but I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to tell you, like, part of this is that could you find the space within you that allows room for your life to actually change? Because I would never tell you what I'm about to tell you to harm you. I'm just telling you so that you could literally change your life. And I'm telling you what I'm about to tell you because it has changed the lives of hundreds of people. So we all in our minds, brains have something called the reticular activating sensor, and it determines what we believe is realistic for us or not. So the money you earn, for example, even the partner that you have, for example, all of it is just based off of what you have decided is possible for you or not. So what if you could change that decision? That's what this activity is, right? So you simply write the words, I earn blank a year or more. Don't say, I'm gonna earn. Don't say, I hope to earn. Don't say, baby Jesus, please, could you bring it to me? No, none of that. I earn
Jesus.
blank a year or more, right?
Yeah,
Look, notice how it's very just decisive and very clear. The clearer you are, the clearer the universe is with you. And then what you put in that blank, you put 3 times the most amount of money that you have ever earned in your life. Now, what that is going to do is that's going to stretch what you thought was possible. And it's not a goal. It's just you need
it's
to feel
energetic.
uncomfortable. That's right. You need to,
Yeah,
because it's going to bring up stories. It's going to, well, wait a minute. Well, what would that? But how could I? But that's
that's
the
the magic.
energy.
Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
what you
That's where
need
the
to
magic
tap
is.
into. Okay. And is it the same for relationships? Like if you always, yeah, feel like you're not attracting the right partner or you're, there's women now, single wanting to meet that person.
Yeah, well, I mean, I share this in the book, but I call this PPV, uh, personality, presence, and values. And I take you through an activity where, yes, again, the clearer you are with what you want. Step number one, get clear with what you want. Step number two, this is an important step. Become that. Become the energetic vibrational match for that. You want someone handsome? How do you speak to yourself? How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as beautiful? And if not, based off of what? Based off of what story?
Yeah.
Who are you comparing yourself to? Why are you comparing yourself to them? Why are you judging yourself? Why are you so mean to yourself? It's incredible what happens. But the moment we start thinking we're beautiful, guess what starts happening? We start attracting ways to become more beautiful. Yeah. So become that, right? Do you want someone smart? What's the story within you that says that you're not smart? Yeah. Do you want someone with high energy? Do you like, what do you want? And then look at yourself and go, oh my God. Like, I literally want something that I may not even think I am. I've got work to do. And then you put all of your energy and your focus on becoming that person. And here's step number 3. When you really go deep into it, guess what? You won't need a partner anymore.
Exactly. You are the one you've been waiting for.
That's right. Because you become the one that you have been waiting for.
Yes.
And as a result of that, guess what happens? The
You
partner shows up.
attract in. But yeah, because
That's
you've
right.
now also let go of that, because
That's
you're
right.
trying to attract from like a resistant actual energy.
That's right.
So just curiosity, do you believe that all things happen for a reason? Because you wrote about this in the book too. I'd love your frame on this idea that, you told us like our soul sort of attracted in certain situations, but do you believe that everything happens for a reason?
I take it, I'll take it, I'll take it a step further.
Because people are afraid. They're afraid that, oh no, I've been thinking negatively and now this happened to me, like, something health wise
I'll
or
give you,
whatever.
I'll give you a tip for that.
Yes.
Everything happens for a reason is still out here as if it's happening to you.
Right. Right. Life happens. So that expression, life's happening to you, for you, not to you.
Yes. Versus, and Michele, this is why you have to come to Awaken. Okay, look, just a little secret. The book is great, but you need to experience this. You have no idea what it feels like to have your ancestors visit you. You have no idea what it feels like to to see angels. You have no idea what it feels like for your parents or your siblings that have passed away to come back to you in a vision and literally go into your body and into your mind and remove the limiting thoughts, feelings, and
The
emotions. This is my
generational
yes,
stuff.
this is my guarantee
Yeah.
that will happen. And the reason I say this is because once you really get it, that it's not that everything happens for a reason, it's that I am the creator of everything.
Yeah.
And everything
So it's
has
the wrong
happened.
framing, even that you were
That's
hearing.
right.
Because I
Yes,
also think about free will. There's
that's
free
right.
will. Everybody's acting on their own free will.
Well, first off, I don't want to forget because I know a lot of people like if when you have a negative belief,
Yes.
just
Yes.
say cancel, clear, delete.
I like it.
Negative beliefs are normal. We're going to have them. We're human beings.
Yeah.
That's your power to just diffuse it, cancel,
Yeah.
clear, delete.
Yep.
Yeah,
Done with that. Yeah. Energetically, you're disconnecting from
that's
that.
it. Cancel,
Yeah.
clear. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I think people have fear like, oh no, I'm always thinking these negative thoughts or whatever. And
Yep.
okay, so because we're coming towards, there's like so many different directions that I could take this. And I have to say, I think a lot of people don't want to have these conversations, but I've had too many experiences in my life that can't be explained,
Mm-hmm.
where I've sort of had the experience with the other side where I know that there's more magic and beauty to this life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's important for people to just stay open and see what resonates. But on that, I'm going to just read something that you wrote in your book to close this out. And it's sort of at the heart of what we've been talking about. You said, maybe you felt this too, or maybe you're feeling something similar now. Perhaps not the same vices, maybe not the same weight challenges, but that gnawing sense that the life you've built is missing something essential, that the noise you fill your days with is just a distraction from the silence that feels too scary to sit with, that even the success you fought so hard to achieve feels hollow. And you said, this is where you were, where you were hiding. You say also, not the external trappings I had attained that had left me empty, living the same life, eventually dying, having never honored myself. And that is sort of the invitation. So when the show airs, the name is going to have changed from The Good Life, which was never felt resonant, to her starring role. It's inviting women to step into her starring role. And you talked about the character
Oh,
energy.
you know what? That just gave me goosebumps because
So many
that's
people
you.
have
That's
said
you.
that. So
That's
what do you
you.
mean? Wait, what is it? What do you mean it's
Well, it's
me?
just it's you. It's you. You just said it never felt right, right?
Yeah,
And you didn't honor that.
I didn't. But it's
And
taken me 7 years. This show's hitting 7 years now. And finally, I'm stepping into that power. Finally.
yes, yes, Michele, this is important because you mentioned free will.
Yes.
Grab your birthday, birth time, and birth location, all of you. Go to astro.com. Astro.com. Grab your natal chart. Remember that I say this. Click include conjunctions, I think it is. Take a screenshot of it, go share it with your favorite AI. This is one thing that it's good for. And ask it, like, you are an astrology master. Tell me what is happening in my life. I can guarantee you that you're in a shift right now. And that, like, and then the reason why I tell people to do this is because, again, this is another one of those things where you realize, like, even the last 7 years of calling it what it's been called, it's been perfect.
Totally.
It's been perfect because it's what
Exactly.
gave birth to this.
100%.
Yes.
So, with the work that you do, imagine that there's however many women this is reaching, and you are extending a hand to that woman to invite her center stage.
Yes.
What, based on this awakening work that you're doing, do you want to
Uh,
impart to her? What's
the
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 invitation,
woman is
Danny? Go
the woman
ahead.
is the gold of life.
Yes, she is.
The woman is the heart of life. The woman is the connection to the divine. The woman is the master of the unseen. The woman is actually the dark. She's not afraid. The woman transcends the dark and transcends herself and becomes. The woman is the carrier and the creator of life. Women, wake up and see how beautiful and how magnificent you actually are. You give birth to life. That means you can give birth to anything that you
100%.
want. Anything that you want. And I hope you can see how passionate I get about this, because when our women realize who and what they are and they stand firm in that, then guess what's going to happen? Our men are going to wake up. And no, I didn't say that, oh, only what, no, it's just we all need to wake up within ourselves. And when that happens, humanity will start to wake up. But
Yes.
you have always known. You've known what the name of your podcast should or shouldn't be. You know if you're in the right relationship or in the wrong relationship. You know if you're in the right career or the wrong career. Close your eyes, be silent with yourself, be still, and start to listen and honor what's within. Because when you do that, you'll have realized that you've always had all of the answers to your life.
So beautiful. So beautiful, Danny. Okay, so where can I direct the women listening to learn
Ah,
about Waken, your book, Awaken Your Highest Self, the limiting beliefs that keep you stuck, and the heart work that sets you free, which will be out when this interview airs
yes,
with the
yes.
new name of the podcast, because by then it's coming out in a couple of weeks. I haven't announced it yet, but it will be out there.
Um, just go to awakenbook.com to
Mhm.
you can get the book there, or on Amazon, Audible, everywhere. And then, find me on Instagram, Danny Morel. I think that's the best place.
Beautiful. Thank you for the work you're doing, for your beautiful heart, for your commitment to the spirit, and why we're here. And ladies, all of the show notes, Danny's book, the website, maybe even astro.com will be on the in the show notes for you to access easily. Thank you from my heart to yours for being
Thank
here
you.
today. Such a pleasure.
Thank you.